What's up, Coach?
Hey, man, good to see you guys.
Yeah, same here, man.
Shit.
Crazy little reunion, huh?
Nice to see you, bro.
Nice to see you guys.
Stalin, how you been?
I've been good, man.
What's up, Camacho?
What's going on? What's going on, fellas?
Oh, there
What's
you
up,
go.
Stalin?
Out and clear.
Hey, there he is, man.
He is,
Wow.
man.
No,
Camacho,
man.
what's up, man?
What's going on, Augie?
What's up?
How's everybody doing? Stalin Ramirez, 1992 Bees champs, right? Big side linebacker with my partners were Fernie Soto, man. We had a great time. You know, that was my second year. My third year, I played varsity. I was the team defensive captain, getting the signs from Coach Drake. Had a great time. Partners were Chaka and I forget the other dude's name, but man, we had a great time. Class of 94.
Hey, Augie Lopez, kicker for the Bees 92 champions, number 14, class of 1994.
Juan Leon was defensive end in the 92 team. Was number 52. And then played 2 years varsity defensive end. I was number 25. And my senior year, 55.
Hey, Eddie Garcia, at 92 year, I was number 32, played fullback. Like Coach Cid said, my hook and ladder was my all-time play for that. And then junior year went to varsity. I think I was 32 that year. And then senior year, 9.
Camacho, wore number 44, outside linebacker, in the 92 year. Good times. I mean, I was, memories I never forget. Played 2 years of varsity, wore number 23 on both years. Also played outside linebacker.
Roberto Ortiz, in varsity, 61 was taken, so I wore number 60.
Javier Cid, class of 84 from Roosevelt. I came back to coach at Roosevelt. Ronquillo actually found me and he offered me a job. We put a good staff together. We had guys like Robledo, Soria, Nisam, even Fred Wade, I think, coached with me. And I think really probably one of the best years I ever coached was this 92 team. I've been coaching a long time, but 92 was a great year. We were champs, and I look forward to talking to you guys some more. So I remember number 21 was Juan Andrade.
Chango.
I remember we had a guy named Balan, but I remember what number he was. He used to always like wrap himself. Like he had all
Carlos Balan,
Yeah, I think he went to the Marines after.
Oh yeah. He's a well-respected guy. We have 40 Camacho, 67 Cesar Cruz Mole. I think Ceja was on that team, but I don't remember exactly. Then the 58 was Ari Leon. Number 8 was this little backup. I think he was like a third string running back, but he was cool. Richard Martinez.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah, with the lentes. Yeah, glasses.
Then we had Fernie Soto was number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 was Yev. 22 was a guy named Cesar Avila. He was our starting corner, I think. Let's see who else. 17, of course, Juan Fernandez, man. If you look at like Fernandez then, you look at quarterbacks now, I just realized that Fernandez was a hell of a quarterback, man.
Yeah, he was tall too, tall.
Yeah.
No other Navy quarterback that ever was as good as him at that level. I know that he couldn't play varsity. I don't know if something happened with him, but he was good. We have Frosty, number 33. 34 was Juan Osoria.
Yeah.
He was big.
Fucking moves. And then he had that neck roll too.
I think Eddie Garcia. I remember Eddie Garcia. We put him in one time and we did the hook and lateral with Eddie Garcia.
I can't believe you remember that still, man. That's fucking crazy. That was my glory time for sure.
Oh, that was like one of the best plays from that year, believe. And then we had Kano. We had a girl on the team.
Adriana.
She's 61. She's studying at Roosevelt right now. She's a teacher.
Oh man.
Hey, I
Wow.
was number 60 Ortiz because I remember coaching.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little
was that
Ortiz, yeah.
Little Ortiz,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the varsity offensive line coach at Roosevelt.
Uh-huh.
Then we had who else? Augie, of course, number 14. We had a guy named, I thought we saw that we had a guy named Lorevico, number 66.
Oh, Victor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Satanas.
Victor. Victor was
Satanas,
crazy, dude.
yeah.
Little
Yeah.
Pico. Remember?
Yeah.
Man, that guy was something else, man. He was a
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That guy's still in
him and his
shape, man.
brother. You guys remember that guy?
Victor Levico's still in shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, what a trip! But then we had a guy named Jaime, number 75.
Yeah. He's like a welder or something like
Exactly,
that. now.
does ironworks.
Yeah.
Then who else? We had my ex brother-in-law, number 23, Mosqueda, Bobby.
Yep.
Remember
Oh,
Bobby?
yeah.
Yeah.
And we had one of the craziest guys on the team, number 50, Cesar Nande.
Oh yeah.
Nande.
Yeah.
Man,
Hey, that fool jumped in the pool at Bell after we
Yeah.
were bloody.
All full of mud.
everybody
Yeah.
got thrown in.
He was the first one to jump
Out
in.
of
Yeah.
all of us.
And then we had Duke.
Oh, and remember the classic too, when he was one of the main ones that ran across to tear down one of the banners after
Oh,
the
yeah.
game. That's why they got suspended. It was him and a bunch of other guys.
I remember
that's
that.
shit right there. Then we had little
Oh, you got your
Doogie,
dinosaur.
number 85.
Yep.
You guys remember little Doogie, Mondo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Sid, about Mondo Doogie.
Yeah.
He was over at UCI with me too.
Oh yeah, he went to UCI.
Yeah, he went to UCI and he had a radio show from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m.
Oh,
And
what
the
a
radio,
shit.
yeah, the
Yeah, it
radio
was-
show,
yeah.
88.9 KUCI. The dude would play 3 hours of bandas y acordeones. That was the name
Yeah.
of the show.
Ah,
And
that.
yeah, it was cool, man. We partied a lot together out there.
oh, he's a very successful guy now. He's like a principal or something. Then we had Stalin, number 55.
Yeah.
And then we had the Morales brothers, I believe 80 and 86, right?
Yeah, the thin kids. Tall thin.
Oh, that's right.
The only
Yeah.
guy
Pretty
Receivers,
boys.
receivers.
there's a couple guys. Number 79 was one of our offensive linemen, skinny dude. But he was an offensive lineman. And then we had number
Yeah.
71 and 70.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that I'm like, who are I can't remember those guys, but those are the
Yeah.
guys that, like, man, I can remember all these guys.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
Then we had Barraza, number 53, I think. It was a
Barraza
DB.
was the guy that we put at corner.
Yeah.
We had a number 53. I
Yeah.
couldn't remember that dude. I'm gonna write it down right here because
Barraza.
Barraza, yeah. I
Did
mean,
he
I
get
still
a-
keep in touch with his brother, but not him.
yeah, we had a guy Barraza. I don't know what he was, maybe a linebacker or something, but when we put him at corner, he ended up doing pretty good.
Yeah, he had 2 picks in the classic.
Yeah, he had 2 picks in the classic, number 53.
Running back Herrera, remember? 20.
Oh yeah, number 20.
Rene.
Yeah,
Oh,
Herrera.
that's
I
right.
think I
Rene.
saw-
Oh yeah, Rana.
Yeah.
We called him Rana.
Yeah.
And then you
Rene
had
Herrera.
Chamorro.
Yeah, he lived over there by me.
Yeah, Herrera. I see his sister.
Yeah.
His sister's a assistant principal over at Stevenson now. Sonia.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
his brother is
wow.
married to my sister.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, Louis played for you and Killer, Hector.
Oh yeah,
Lopez.
I know Luis. But no, isn't there another guy also? Is Monica your sister, Lopez?
Yeah, Chamorro.
Oh yeah, that's
Franklin.
Frank Chamorro.
Oh,
he on this
Chamorro.
team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he on this
Franklin, right?
team or no?
What happened?
Chamorro was he on this team where he came?
Yeah, he was there. He was the long snapper. And he played on
Yeah.
offensive
Special
line.
teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Franklin,
I
right?
remember the-
Franklin?
Franklin
first time I ever
Chamorro.
Franklin
kicked.
Chamorro. He's an officer. Yeah, he's a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
The
cop.
first field goal I ever kicked was he was my long snapper, and I
Okay.
kicked the tee and hit him right in the ass. It still reminds me of that because I see him every weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I always questioned was when you finished high school ball coaching, how was the concussion protocol? I know back in the day, man, we'd ring our bell, we'd see stars, and you're like, get back
Didn't
in
have
there.
any
You know?
Walk it off. Walk it off.
We just said, hey, coach. We used to say you got a. I forget what it says. You got a. Your bell got rung.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got a stinger on your shoulder, and that was it. We didn't have that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazy time.
And the helmets we had back then were worse. Way
Yeah.
Very much, yeah.
than these guys have now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There was no recertification or nothing back
I
then.
remember you said, "Oh, put air in the top of the helmet. You put it in, you could hear it coming
They're
out."
coming out.
There you go.
I remember with Coach Cid, I was like, dude, that dude's an innovator with the offense.
Cid came up, we're like, hey, that dude played. He played in 80 something and he was great. Okay. And the dude was super young. And what I enjoyed was he was kind of like Nisam. I mean, he would get in there and run the play with us. This is the way it's got to be done. And then you would hear, you know, he would have his shorts and his keys rattling and stuff, but he was running around, throwing the ball, and he would show us how to hit. So that's what I remember. It wasn't like he was telling us what to do. He was showing us. And man, just to see him, he was a young dude coming up that was full of spirit. You know, he would tell us, you know, say, hey, you never want to leave saying, I woulda, coulda, shoulda. And that's what I tell my guys now that I coach. You know, I coach baseball. I assistant at baseball, high schools and USSSA, pony baseball. And I use that. I took that line from him. You don't want to leave saying I shoulda, woulda, coulda. And he would tell us all the time. And the kids now, I say, hey, do you want to play? What if you don't play right? What are you going to say? And the kids are like, yeah, we don't want to say that, coach. I shoulda, woulda, coulda. We need to do it now. And man, the guy was in there. Sid was in there with us, playing, grabbing us by the face mask once in a while. But man, we learned a lot from the guy. Very motivational. We love the guy, man. It was great times.
Got to see Coach Cid for the first time, talk to him, you know, kind of got to see what it was about. And it was different. It was a different mentality. His coaching style was a lot different from the coaches that I had at Bobcats. It was different, but I enjoyed it. I liked it. I learned a lot from Cid. His coaching style, like Stalin said, it wasn't just telling you what to do if he had to. And some of the other coaches too. Coach Wade was the same way. If they had to, hey, they would go up there, line up, show you what you did wrong, and how to correct it. So I took a lot out from Coach Cid, from Coach Wade, from all the other coaches, little things that you pick up from them. And yeah, I think Coach Cid was the best coach that I had during my time playing football, from Bobcats to the end of my high school years at playing football.
Coach Cid made it fun. You know, doing the highway, running to Hollenbeck Park, running up and down the hills. You know, I remember one time we were thirsty and we ran to someone's yard to drink water, and he got on our ass, got back, made us do up downs because we're drinking from a water hose. But, you know, it's a great experience. You know, it taught us how to be disciplined, and that's what a lot of us needed at that time. And you know, and even now we still carry that tradition as adults. You know, you still remember those days and the way, you know, what he told you to do and how to be. You know, you always represented Roosevelt, and that's what he said. You always represented East LA, and you gotta, you know, people always had a bad, how could I say it? They always had a bad vision if you came from East LA. Even now, when I tell people, yeah, I grew up in Boyle Heights, a lot of people don't know what Boyle Heights is. So I gotta break it down. It's East LA, and they're like, shit, you know, you grew up in East LA, but you know, you always gotta, he always, you know, told us to reach, like the song said, shoulda, coulda, woulda. You always want to be better than everybody else, and that's what he gave to us. Always be better than everybody else and be a better man. And I think he set a great example for a lot of us. And I just want to say thank you to Coach Cid. You know, you're a great role model. You taught us boys how to be men. You know, you taught us about integrity and how to be responsible. So a lot of us wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for you. And I just want to say thank you. And just to let you know, my longest field goal was against Bell. A 46-yard field goal.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, a varsity year.
Still a record.
I don't know.
It's gotta be. You know why it is? Because no one remembers anything longer. So hey, you got the record.
Well, I just want to say thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Know, you were great. You're a great inspiration, and you know we still carry what you taught us back then in high school. You know, even when I was in the LAPD Academy, you know, running and all that, I could still hear you in the background screaming and, you know, telling us to keep on going. So thanks.
Appreciate it.
You know, one thing I remember about Coach Cid is that he never put you down, you know, like, and that's what that's what I carry with me now with the kids, because it's like, they won't play for you if they don't like you, you know? So that's one thing, like, what I remember with Coach Cid is, you know, he took the time sometimes when we had no line coach, and he was there, you know, teaching us all the little things. And I was like, in my head, I was like, you know, that this is why I want to play, because guys like this, that they don't fucking yelling at your face, you're a piece of shit, or, you know. He was always on the positive side, and I was like, oh, so you know, you just internalize that, and your body just reacts to it, and that's what I remember. I was like, and then he'll make comments like, "Hey, this little fucker, this guy has balls and shit." It's like, yeah, that's even more, you know. It's like, all right, so you know, so yeah, it was like that's what I carry with the Roosevelt guys now. Is like, you know, I never try to put them down. I never fucking say, yo, you fucking worthless piece of shit, and you know, and you know that kids listen to you if they like you, and they know that you have some kind of respect for them.
You know, the first couple of days of conditioning, my last, you know, days as at Belvedere, and just, you know, listening to Cid and just being part of that group, it was just like it clicked. You know, I felt like just listening to Cid and listening to Robledo and listening to all them is like just absorbing all everything they had. Because I mean, I remember my brother talking about Cid when my brother played at Roosevelt, and it's like just knowing that he had a lot of knowledge that could teach us, and you know, I absorbed that. And like Stalin said, that woulda, coulda, shoulda, and you know, I take that still to this day, and I teach my kids that. You know, I tell my daughter, you know, do you know, wish you coulda, shoulda, but you didn't do anything about it. And I have them applying that, you know, in school. But it was, you know, it was those memories that I still take to this day, that they were fun, you know. And like Leon said, I mean, Cid was just different than all my other coaches as well. Like Coach Drake, Coach Endow, they were great coaches, but you know, Cid was just a different breed. That's what I feel.
Because one of the things about coaching Bs, and when I became the B coach, the number one thing for me was getting guys ready to play varsity. We used to have a lot of guys that were like juniors and seniors stay down and play Bs, and I didn't really want that coming in as 10th graders to get the playing time to get those guys ready. So we didn't know. I mean, I knew that we're getting some guys from the Bobcats, we're getting some guys from the Wolfpack that were going to be pretty good, but I had never really coached those guys. And it was actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but it was actually a tough year for me because I got married that year in August, right before the season, and I took off to Hawaii. And when I came back, I was like, you know, I was set. But one of the things that you guys don't know this, but we got together with Drake and Endow, and we put this offense together. And a lot of the offense was actually by me. We had, like, instead of wing right, we called it war, because we didn't want to say wing right. We just want to say, how can we get like a W and an R letter together and a W and an L letter together? So we went war and will, and some of the plays were just like, hey, let's just run basically the basic plays that everybody was running, like blast and counter and sweep and stuff like that. So we just kind of kept it simple. And we really wanted to work with our defense. We could have like a good defense, and that was the key. So, I mean, I think really it came down to two things, and we knew we were going to be good. Offensive line, we weren't really big. We were small. I remember watching number 79. He was a skinny dude, but he became one of our tackles. The guy that really made it happen for us was our center, Mole, man. But one of the things that we did, we had some coaches that had experience playing football. And looking back, I think we're really well organized. If you see the classic, you know, everybody watches the plays and stuff, but if you see the classic, the way guys are coming in and out of the huddle, the way our huddle was perfect. Everybody was like where they were supposed to be. If you look now at some of the teams, you see like the huddles all messed up, and like guys trying to figure out, oh, where am I supposed to line up here? Our guys were like, boom. And then and then we would have sub in and out, and then the quarterback would call the play. Mole would run up to the line. He would be the first one kind of doing this kind of thing, and he would get down, and then our splits were good. And I kind of learned that from Coach Dickey, because Coach Dickey taught us about like the way, you know, we do with our hand like this or our elbow. So I implement a lot of things that Coach Dickey taught me, because I played offensive line, but I was more of a defensive guy mostly in high school and college. So I had to kind of learn from him. and we just applied what we learned. We kept it basic, and what helped is we had good athletes. We had guys at running back and receiver that we could switch off. We had we had two really good fullbacks, two really good tailbacks, and then Yev was really the key because he was so experienced that we didn't have to put Yev at a running back, so we made him a wing, and he could run the counters, and he could go out for a pass. But again, I think Fernandez was really the key. He was such a good quarterback, and if you see him, he just comes back and he throws some good balls, and that was the key because in B's back then, you had to run the ball. And even if you look at Garfield threw one good pass in the Classic against us, and that was it. The quarterback didn't have the discipline, and he didn't really have the offensive line to be able to block and throw passes. We were throwing passes everywhere. Johnny was, when we ran Bood, he threw the pass early. A lot of quarterbacks wait till the guy's open, and then they throw it. Johnny was, he would wait, he would throw it early, and then by the time the ball got there, we were completing all kinds of passes. But man, we had some good players. And I think we had some good coaches too. So, we did well. We did well. And it was fun coaching. I mean, that was one of the, looking back, I mean, I've coached like almost 30 years now. And that was one of my funnest times, without a doubt, But we did lose. I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't want to go to the end, but we did lose against Bal. And you guys don't know this, but it had been raining a lot. The field was all muddied and wet. And the Reds didn't want to play the game. Coach, the field's really, really bad. And Bell didn't really want to play the game. And I was like, no, we got to play because we got to go undefeated. But it kind of worked against us because we ended up losing. I think we lost like 6-2. We only got I think we got a safety, but we lost that game. But even though we lost that game, we were still champs. But credit to Bell, they got us at the end. That's and I mean, if you look at the Classic again, we were able to go freeze. It's hard to go. Even if I know Coach Ortiz coaches varsity right now, if you go line up the line, freezes the play, we go, go, and we drive them off sides. We were able to do that like that. We never messed up, and we got a Garfield like on a offsides penalty like 2 or 3 times when we really needed to, and we were just, all the way around, we were a solid team with pretty much every position. We had at least 2 or 3 guys that can play. And, we would just play guys different places. One of my favorite things was using number 53 at corner. That was crazy. A guy that never really played, but we needed a corner, and somehow or another we put him there, and he ended up doing well. So I think credit to the coaches to be able to, find guys like that. I mean, I could go on and on. I don't remember. I remember the best team in the league was HP. In the 4 years that I coach Bees, it was either us or HP that would win the league. So the HP game was really, really good. And I remember it was a tough game. At the end of the game, we almost took a safety. One of those things where like we had to punt back to them. And in order for, we didn't want to take, Coach Neeson was like, Coach, get the guy to catch the ball and just run backwards. But then I was like, nah, hey, fuck that. We're going to go for it. And then I don't know what we did, but we ended up like, putting HP. And HP was a team that would play. They used to be 4 years. We were only 3 years at that time, right? HP was 4 years, and HP was having guys play 4 years of B football. Supposedly because they were too small. And that's why they used to win a lot. And Garfield was like that too. Garfield continued to do that. I think one of the things that I'm happy that I think I did is we broke the tradition of 3-year Vistas. The only 3-year Vista we had at that time was Doogie. But hey, Doogie was like a little elementary school kid. So we kept him on and, and all that. But we wanted to get guys ready to play varsity. And as you can see right here, we had all you guys right here play varsity. So that was really our goal. Not necessarily to win, but to get guys ready to play varsity. Yeah, that was it.
82, man, I was kind of nursing a bad ankle. So I got to play like the first 3 games, and then I sat down for a couple. Then I came back at the Classic, then played after that. But the first game, especially at Roosevelt, you know how we do you have a huge celebration, right, for opening day. So I mean, just knowing that you're playing that first game and you're giving it your all, I mean, it just felt good, man. Just hearing the cheering and the way we won that first game. I forget who we played against, but man, I remember that first win was like excellent. And just those hits, man, the first hits you take. And, you know, I remember having the butterflies like every year. Whenever you play football, that first game, I mean, you're leading up to that game, you feel the butterflies. But man, after the first couple of hits, man, you feel good. And especially if you get that W, and then being around your team and knowing that you're a family, those first games were always a highlight for me, man.
Well, for me, it was a classic, you know, getting there to the game and the stadium's empty. And then during halftime, you go under the stadium and you could hear the crowd cheering, people stomping. And then you come out and it's just, you know, crowded. You know, I couldn't even find my mom at that time because the stadium was full. But just, you know, like Stalin said too, the first game, it was my first game ever playing, you know, with pads. I was nervous as fuck. You know, that morning I was vomiting all day. My mom wanted to keep me home, and I was like, nope, I gotta go because if you miss one period, you don't play. So I was like, no, I gotta go to school. So that was my butterflies, my jitters. And then I think even that game, our long snapper messed up and threw it over the holder's head, and I had to get in and run. And it was like, I remember those poles right by the field, by the end zone. The guy grabbed me from the collar and just threw me towards that, and I was like, shit, I'm going out. This is the first time I'm actually gonna get really hit. But you know, it was just memorable times, man. You know, hanging out with everybody. But you know, like the guys like Leon and Stalin, Wendell Stevenson. At that time, I was still living on Garfield side, and just, you know, hiding my jersey until I got past Indiana and then putting it on because that was the border. And even then, I couldn't wear my jersey. It was a red jersey with number 14, so a couple of cholos gave me shit for that, you know. But it was fun, you know, just being you know, having that bond between all of us. You know, we became a family. You had guys from different hoods got together when it came to playing football. So those are my memories, man.
Augie said, the first time you get to play at Roosevelt, it's something that I had grown up with, trying to play there. I was always looking forward to playing there. So actually getting to play there was that first game coming out, you know, for the warm-ups, getting everything, and then you win that game, and it was like, you know, something that I was like, okay, you know, I can do this, kind of get going. The classic was in my mind was the best game I think that we had as a unit, as a team. Offensively, it kind of took us a while to get going, but once we got going, it was just kind of marching up and down the field. Defensively, we held them, I think, just to one touchdown, and that was it. And from what I remember, at that time, I think they were one of those teams that could run the ball a lot. They got a lot of yards offensively running the ball. So for us, defensively wise, that was a challenge for us. We put it together, and then special teams, you know, that kick that Augie had, that run that Rene had, that fake punt that we did.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, so it was just, you know, that game, I think, was one that we kind of put it all together. There was some other games that we had, that HP game too. That was a good game. I think that was the team, the biggest team that we faced, because those guys were big. I remember seeing those guys, and I was like, damn, those guys could be playing varsity. But you know, we went out there and we did our job, and it's like Coach Cid in that one clip against HP. Go out there, hit them. When you're done, hit them some more. After 4 quarters, you look up at the scoreboard. You know, you did your job. You got the W. That's all it was. But yeah, we had some good games. But I think that Garfield game was the game that stood out for me. I remember too, when we went to go play Jordan. At Jordan, they told us, if you scored, try to stay away from that end zone in the back because the projects were there.
Yeah.
They said, hey, or anything, if you hear any shots or anything, as we were driving in, any gunshots, whatever, drop to the floor. Try to stay away from that end zone, the back end zone, the on the western side, because the projects were right behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even when we played at Fremont, I remember getting off the 110 on Florence, and everybody was like, "Hey, put your helmets on." So we drove in with wearing our helmets, not knowing that those helmets wouldn't stop a bullet, but we still put them on. And even Jordan, high school, we had to drive the bus into the school,
Right.
into the field.
Yeah.
And then you had guys like drinking 40s on the wall, talking smack.
Yeah.
So, but it was good times, man.
Yeah.
We had a blast.
To being able to wear that red and gold, actually for the first time, was special. I mean, I grew up, my whole family went to Roosevelt, so it's like I finally got to do it. So that was special. The nerves were, ridiculous for me. I remember not being able to sleep just before that first game. But it just, like everybody said, after the first couple of hits, everything just slowed down. Everything just became like, let's just do our job. The classic, that's one of the games that I remember as well, because Garfield was hyped, and they ran the ball like crazy on everybody else. But when it came to us, they didn't. And they scored their touchdown, I think, on us on a short field too. I think it was they had a long return on a punt, and they scored on us. And I knew the quarterback personally. I knew how I grew up with him, so he was talking smack all game. So it was fun. I mean, shutting them up at the end of the game, it was fun. But for me, I think it was just the bell game. That yes, we lost that game, but it's just that old cliche of playing in the mud. There's nothing like it, getting down and dirty and just losing that game on a fluke, you could literally say. But we shut that team down until when he slipped away and he ran on us. But other than that, I mean, it was fun. Just, all those games were fun, win or lose, they were fun. I got to spend it with all of you guys. And, we grew a bond for a lot of us that were, 10th graders, that we played varsity for 2 years together. And just, it was just, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. For me, it wasn't a particular game. For me, it was a practice. I remember one time we were practicing, and I think it was like the first week in Pats, and we were running like drills. Like we were supposed to be having half speed drills, like contact, but not too much, just to get used to it. And then I was carrying the ball, and we're working on form technically. And then fucking Soto just out of nowhere, we're supposed to be going half speed, and then motherfucker just nails me like on the side, like fucking knocked my chin strap off, nose bleeding, and I fucking turn around and I was like, I didn't tell him anything, but I was like, he walks away, and he was like, this is football. And I was like, fuck, he's right, you gotta be ready for anything. So after that, it was no half speed for me either, dude. For me, it was like, this is football. You gotta fuck each other up, even if the coaches say it's half speed. So yeah, I remember that. I was like wiping my nose, like bleeding and shit. I was like, fuck it, this is football. So yeah, it was fun, man. It was fun. And after that, I was like, all right, it was no half speed. It was everything. It was like, even though we were working on form tackling half speed, that chingazo had to be full speed.
Oh yeah, that's easy for me. He was a hitter. He was a hitter, and he was one of those guys. As coaches, we want to kind of get everything going, and Soto just knew one speed. He used to always hit everybody, and always kind of like even like bump his head like that on people. But what's interesting is Soto didn't really have a good game in the Classic. Maybe they scouted him, but they were like double teaming his ass, and they were sending like two guys to block him, and he was just like getting smashed. So some other guys had to step in and do the job. And I was watching because I wanted specifically when I watched the film kind of watch him, and he was he was getting blocked a lot. A lot of times he was getting double teamed, and I think Garfield kind of did that because they scouted us or they saw film. And yeah, he didn't really have a good game, but Soto always was tough. He was just the guy that would kind of do his own shit, and he got in trouble a lot. That's why I forgot we used to call it something. I don't know if we different years we said we called it opportunity, or we called like when you get in trouble, and we ended up calling the when you got in trouble you got a Soto special, and I think Robledo was the one that came up with that shit. So that's why every time other guys would get in trouble, we said, "Hey, fuck it," or like Ortiz, Leon, Camacho, all you guys got a Soto special, and that means you had to stay after practice and do up downs and do all kinds of shit. So that's what I remember. But Soto was one of the guys. He was like, if he would have been like one of our top recruits coming in, and we knew he was gonna play for us. He's a Roosevelt guy all the way because of his brother Leo. So it was exciting to get him on the staff. That was the only year he played for Roosevelt, because I think we tried to move him up to varsity. He started getting in trouble, and he never got the grades after that. And then when I moved up to varsity in '94, we tried to get him back on the team because he was a good player, but it just didn't work out. So, too bad. But Soto was a special guy without a doubt.
So when we were younger, and Leo Marquez, his brother, they lived over by the 4th Street Bridge, that Lanfranco Hill that goes down. So Soto grew up around there. So we would hang out down there and throw the football around during the summer. So Leo Marquez, this other guy, Eskimo, and the dudes that we used to hang out at the YMCA, they would teach us. They're like, hey, don't play flag on the street, play like tackle, play on the grass. And they would show us how to tackle. So I credit Leo Marquez kind of showing us how to hit. And then plus I played Wolfpack, so I kind of learned from some of them. But Soto, I mean, the Leo gave Soto a helmet. I don't know if you guys remember. He had a different, it was almost like a little different color. Yeah, it was a bike helmet. Yeah, I remember that. And he's like, oh yeah, dude, I think I'll take number 42 because I'm, one of the best hitters. And Ronnie Lott, of course, he wanted to spear it. Soto wanted to spear everyone. But the brother and all these other guys would teach us how to hit. And I mean, they would take Soto, and I mean, we would play flag football or touch, and he would spear us. He would straight up with his forehead, without even a helmet. So, I think it came from that, because you had all these guys. We had these guys teaching us kind of like how to hit. So I think that's how he evolved into a great player, because his brother would get on him. Hey, you got to do this, you got to do that, and you're not playing offense. All you're gonna do is hit dudes and spear dudes. So yeah, we would play at like you said, Sunrise, Stevenson, Evergreen Park. We would go out there and find a park and we would play. I mean, Soto was always a hitter. Okay, so it was a great season when he played with us.
Soto, he loved to hit, and he could hit. In some of those films, you'll see he's in coverage or he's dropping back and he could make an interception. Man, he would always forget about the ball. He never looked for the ball. The receiver was right there. Hey, take the receiver out. And then one of those, you can hear, I don't know, I think it might be Coach Robledo or somebody's yelling at him, look for the ball. And I remember he would get upset. He's like, no, he would wave people off or, kind of ignore them. But he would always look for that hit. He was kind of the tone setter for us sometimes, where he would hit somebody and that kind of got everybody going defensively. But, and like Coach Cid said, Stalin said, I was kind of looking forward to playing with him in varsity because he had that ability. He was, I think, a little bit more advanced than myself and some of us playing defense, but he would have been something else to watch out if he had that opportunity to play at the varsity level.
And the only thing that comes up to mind from Fernie is Hitman. That was his nickname, the Hitman.
That's right, Hitman.
That's that guy could just put the wood on people. It don't matter who it was. If he was on your team and you were close to the ball, you were gonna get hit. His mission was just hit and destroy type of thing. But I remember man, games where he would just blow people up, and it was fun to watch. You know, he, like Leon said, he would motivate us after that first hit. He's like, you know what, let's put the wood on these guys, and he was just, he was a special breed. You know, he wish he could have played with us in varsity because he would have been doing something special. I mean, honestly, he would have just kept straight. You know, he would have gone somewhere. Honestly, even if it was a JUCO way, but he would have been something if he would have kept playing. But Fernie Soto could just flat out play defense and he could hit.
Like as a coach, it's not necessarily what guys learn from me, but I think we create the situations. And I said, we're going to do this drill. And Soto knocked the shit out of Ortiz. And Ortiz kind of just like on his own figured out like, oh shit, I better watch out and I better be trucha from now on, make sure nobody. And that's something that you could take away with you in life also. You're going to get blindsided by either something at work, something in the family, or even like a physical, an accident or something. So it's important that you always keep your head on the swivel, keep your head on the swivel. And those are the metaphors that you learn. But a lot of times I know that things, I didn't tell Ortiz be trucha. It just like, boom, the drill happened. And from now on, it's something that he still remembers and he kind of takes back. And I think that's what it's all about. I'm looking at the picture right now, and we had 65 guys on a B team. Right now, you cannot even get 40 guys on a varsity team. If you get 40 guys on a varsity team, you're lucky. So we had a lot of guys, and we had a lot of really good players that should have been starting. I'm looking at guys like Rogelio Flores. Remember Roger Flores? God rest his soul. This guy, he was a little defensive lineman. He should have been playing for us, but a lot of times we had so much competition, and there was a lot of competition on this team where our backups were even really, really good. We had a big guy named, I think, Jaime Plancarte, no? Was he on the team, big number 72?
That was Kitchen, right?
The Kitchen. We had a big-ass dude, the Kitchen. He didn't even start for us, but he ended up doing well in the varsity, I think. He ended up also coming up for the alumni game. He was a stud. So we had a lot of guys that even didn't get to play that much, but they were really good players. They ended up being good players. So it's amazing how much talent we had on this team. I'm willing to say it's probably one of the most talented JV B football teams we've ever had. I mean, it's just amazing the guys that we had. I mean, the backups were really good. Okay, cool. So this is our team picture. I started I didn't count every guy, but I started looking at. What's funny is Augie, he had the biggest shoulder pads. Look at his little head and big ass. Crazy, dude.
He needed it for torque so he can kick farther.
I think so, man. We had other guys here. I mean, shoot, man, we had some crazy dudes here. Chamorro is on this team. I forgot about him.
Man, look at this team, man.
Yeah, the only guy that I was number 84, little receiver. What was his name? Anybody remember that guy? Little dude with he had a little mustache. See, he's up on the top.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what was this guy right here?
He's the one that laid out in the classic for that pass.
Yeah.
When Ernie landed, you see all the.
Okay.
Oh, something with an O. Something with an O was the last name, wasn't it?
I forgot his name.
I think it was Ernie.
What about number 45? Is that Sahagan? Or I forgot what we called him. Big, tall guy, number 45 on the top. I remember that kid, but some guys I remember more than others. But damn, this is a crazy, crazy looking group of guys. We had two number 21s right there. Number 21 over here on the left, Chango. This other guy, number 21.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Adriana Cano's right here on the bottom.
And then 25 is that Adrian Gallegos.
Oh yeah, Adrian
right there.
Yeah, he used to get in trouble.
And then to the left of him is Conrad Herrera.
Oh yeah, Conrad.
54.
He was our scholar athlete. He went.
He went to UCLA.
UCLA.
Yeah.
Remember that? I was like, all proud.
No, that dude Moner. He's a civil engineer now.
Oh wow, little 25?
Huh?
25 or
yeah.
Oh wow. What about little number 7 right here on the bottom?
That was
Look at
Oh,
Ortiz.
man.
You were
Let's
number
go, Timer.
Timer. That was it.
Oh, that's right. That's
They call
right.
him Timer. Yeah.
Yeah. What a trip, man. This is a great, I mean, 65 guys. That's crazy.
I
65
know. I
guys.
remember number 31 at the bottom. His name was Noé Ortiz. Because I went to
Little Noé.
Yeah.
Noé. Yeah, there was some good guys there. I mean, you know, Ortiz is a perfect example. He went on to be he started on the varsity the following year, first year varsity, and there was two guys that didn't get to play for us. One was a guy named Gallegos. He ended up playing varsity. I forget his name right now. And another guy was number 46 in the varsity, Robert something. He ended up being our MVP or one of our MVPs. But those two guys, if they would have been on this team, we would have been even better. Or maybe I moved them up to varsity because they were big.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on. This is the Bell game.
Bell game.
I don't know if you guys remember in the Bell game. What's his name? Cesar Nande got hurt, and they called the ambulance, and they cut his jersey, but he ended up not going. He ended up staying, and he didn't go. But Nande got hurt because he flipped over and he landed on his back, almost broke his neck. The ambulance came over, and the first thing they did is they cut his jersey in half, right down where the 50 is. And then they took him out, but I guess he ended up staying because he was there after the game, right? And that's Augie right there, and number 58 looking away from us. Soto right there looking away, also on the bench. And I don't know who is this you, Camacho?
Yeah, that's mine. That's me.
Yeah, okay, I still remember it. Yeah, that was a crazy team, and it was weird because we had two cholos. Number 50 was also like a guy that became a cholo, and he had a crazy life. A nose guard, and then Soto in the middle. So hey, you know those cholos are tough dudes, man. They go all out, and it's great when you coach those guys. Next picture. Oh yeah, this is our. Oh yeah, there's number 46. That's a guy I wanted to. I thought that
Galeana.
was. Who's that?
Memo Galeana. Willie.
Yeah,
William
I think he was also went into corrections or something. No.
he was a sheriff here, but I think he moved to Texas now.
Oh, okay. One of the other guys we called Fuji. Remember one of our linemen? It was either 70 or 71. He works.
Fuji. Martinez.
Oh yeah, Fuji was a guy that still works. He works at Camp Rocky as a juvenile corrections guy. I ran into him one time when I had to go pick up a guy from jail, and I run into his ass, and he's doing good. Yeah, this was I think Camacho, you were our right side defensive end, right? Leon was our left side. Then we had our linebackers in the middle of Soto. I think Stalin, you were on the left, right?
Yeah, left.
And then on the right-hand side, we used to rotate guys. I forgot who the other guy was.
Mm-hmm.
It was 42. I can't remember his name though.
He's right there, huh?
Yeah, he's right here. I just can't remember his name.
Oh, wasn't that Ferreira? Was it Ferreira?
Herrera.
Who?
I don't remember his first name, but I think his last name is Herrera.
Oh, Herrera, yeah. Then 80 right there on the bottom. He played safety for us. He was a good athlete, man. He was a good athlete, but he was a guy that would have been good in the varsity, but for some reason, didn't end up playing varsity after that. And yeah, I remember. Let me see. Oh yeah, that was it. That was our B year right there. Wow, what a trip. Coach Celaya. Celaya was a tough dude, man. But how many guys still have their jacket? Anybody?
Hey, it's right here, man.
Oh, you have it? Oh, we'll check it out right now. Yeah.
Hey, and I think it's only been washed maybe like twice, Sid.
We got jackets. That was the only thing we could get, right?
I think I was short, man. I think long time ago I posted that I owed you a couple of dollars for it.
Oh, probably. We had to collect money, and we had to you guys as a trip because I think you guys had to buy your own jacket. We couldn't even.
Yeah, we did. We gave you the money beforehand, or some of us gave it to you beforehand, or some of us gave you down payment.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know how we did it, but we got jackets.
We had a lift-a-thon.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
had
yeah.
Linton, we had
Raise
people-
money.
Oh, that's right. And you know, I've been using those every since then to be able to afford all this, be able to see that. And I was so glad when I saw Coach Ortiz, because I mean, Coach Ortiz has been coaching Wolfpack for how many years, Coach?
Yeah, it's been forever, man. It's like fresh out of high school, fucking Neeson is like, come on.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I was like, fuck it, you know.
yeah. And Coach Ortiz is giving back a lot. And Coach Ortiz is probably a huge success story because I don't think he really, you know, he was a small dude. I don't think he had a lot of experience, you know, and I think Coach Ortiz exemplifies what I wanted. All you guys do what I wanted as a B coach, just to basically get guys to play varsity. I want to thank Camacho also because Camacho took a lot of pictures, and I know it's not any of the years that we were there or he played, but I'm sure Camacho and the guys like Ruba, you know, they have a lot of pictures of all the other guys when you know, the guys that played after us. So hey, thanks for doing that because those pictures, I wish somebody had done that for us, and maybe they did, but we don't have those pictures, you know. So thanks for all the things you guys do. Thanks, Coach Ortiz, Leon, and you know, doing great, and all you guys appreciate it.
Yeah, it was nice seeing all you guys, man.
Nice seeing you. Thanks, Will. Thanks, Coach Cid.
Yeah,
Augie,
hey, sign out.
Ortiz, Camacho.
Thanks a lot, guys. Keep doing what you're doing. And appreciate everything you guys do. All right.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Have a good one.